How's it going, everyone? Just a quick one today. This one's touching on a few little things I'm putting in the Canopy. So more of a video on little things that make touring a bit more interesting and a bit user-friendly, I suppose. Not so much heavy mods or anything, just a few cool little gadgets, I suppose. So I got this travel buddy here. Well, actually it's a road chef. So I read into it a bit. Long story short, the two guys that designed the travel buddy 12-volt oven split up, whatever, parted ways, and then old mate went on his own and made something basically exactly the same. The road chef. Don't take my word for it, but that's the story. Long story short, so I got the road chef oven, the espresso coffee machine with your milk frother, and then the soda stream. So yeah, I'm just going to run you through them. So I've already put this in. Well, it was just a matter of plugging this one in. But just a few things to look at with the coffee machines and that. Now I've only got a 1200 watt inverter, so I was a bit restricted. An average of a small coffee pod machine like this, the ones that just take your pods, is about 1300 watts, and then you're looking at probably 600 to 800 watts for your frother. Now you can get these where they're connected and joined, etc. So all up, you're pushing that 2000 watt mark to run both of these at the same time. And then being with the 1200 watt inverter, I was a bit restricted, and I thought the coffee machine was off the list, but I found this one. So it runs at 900 to 1090 watts at its peak, and I thought, oh, this might not work. I grabbed it anyway. This one's just from Woolies, so I went to every shop known to mankind trying to find one, and then I ended up in Woolworths with this one. So like I said, 1090 watt max draw on my 1200 watt inverter, and I thought, oh, this is going to be close call, it might not run it. And I thought, oh well, if all else fails, I'll just stick it in the caravan. But it worked, and it works very well. Now, in saying that, I don't have extra long wires. I've got the really fat cable. Like my battery is directly under my inverter, so there's very short, thick cables going, so I'm not getting any power loss through that, which I think's helped me, and it's enough to run it. So, like I said, this is 1090 watts max, and this, I think this one was 650 watt draw. The milk frother, so I've got to run them separately, which is alright. And like I said, even if I had a 2000 watt inverter, I reckon you're still pushing the boundaries, but I reckon that's where you'd get away with being able to do these two at the same time. Anyway, I don't have that big of an inverter, so I've made that work. So that's a really cool thing. It's nice to have a nice coffee on the road, and I looked at this in terms of so my quick, easy road stop way of making a coffee was just to get the jet boil out, and you can boil water in next to no time and whip yourself up an instant coffee on the road sort of thing. Again, this is more based on touring, more so than an overnighter or something, but if it's always in there, well, obviously use it whenever. So this just actually sits in here. Probably going to make it just a little base for it, so I can put a little tie down over it just for the rough tracks, and then of course you'd sort of empty your water out when not needed. Yeah, so what was I saying? Coffee machine. I've just gone bloody blank. Yeah, so like I was saying, with the jet boiler, that was my quick way to make a roadside coffee. So now it's this, and it's about the same time minus frothing the milk, because in an instant coffee you don't really have frothed milk. So from the time I open my Canopy and just switch this on, obviously it's plugged into the inverter, just switch it on. Takes about, I'm going to say 35-40 seconds to heat this tank of water at the back, and then you're ready to, you know, start getting the coffee out of it. And then when that's finished, obviously I'll just turn this off, and then I'll start frothing the milk, which is probably about another minute. I reckon it takes about a minute to froth the milk up, and then you got yourself a sort of a nicer coffee anyway, without that extra. I've never been a plunger guy and contraption guru with all the fancy coffees and stuff. I love my coffee, but I'm just not that into it. So I reckon this is awesome. Gives you a decent coffee on the road. So that's that. I might even make one up and quickly time lapse it or something, just to sort of show the ease of it. Yeah, so like I was saying before, so we've got the Road Chef oven. So what that comes with, so between this one and the Travel Buddy, like I said, they're a splitting image just about. I think this one, don't quote me on it, but I believe the Travel Buddy goes to 200 degrees Celsius, whereas this one's 180. So, and from what I can see, I know people cook everything under the sun in them, but I've know people with them, you know, that aren't flashing them up so much, to say that they are better at reheating than cooking from scratch. But in saying that, I watch a lot of YouTube videos with people cooking full-blown roasts, and it's limitless what you can do in them. But the reason I went the Road Chef over the Travel Buddy was I found this door latch here was a lot better. So the other one's is just a push connection, so it just like push and it's locked. I don't think many people are having dramas with it, but I think this one's just a little improvement. It's like a lock latch. Apart from that, on the inside it's identical. It's got two removable trays. So that's how it comes, like this. It comes with little mounting brackets if you want to use them. I'm not. But what I do like about it is the power source here. It's all tied up at the moment. So it's to an Anderson. So the Travel Buddy just come with a cigarette socket. So pretty easy to cut it off and wire it to an Anderson, but without having to do that. So it gives you 3 ways. So you can just jimmy it up, and then if you had to do it to a cigarette lighter, you can do that. And then I think it's one of them ones where you can undo it and to a, I forget the name of that other plug that turns into, but anyway, besides the point, I wanted it to Anderson, and it was just, I think this was $10 cheaper than the Travel Buddy, and I didn't have to go buy an Anderson and change it to that, because it's just something I don't like these. You're just worried about them rattling in and out over tracks or whatever. So that's how it comes, which is pretty handy. Like I said, the oven, the 2 trays inside of it, obviously the wiring kit, and a couple of little brackets which lock in to the sides here. But I'm not using them anyway. So. And then there's some accessories that you can get for it. So I got the full deep dish. So basically just take them trays out and that slides in. So if you were cooking a roast or something, you might have a little trivet. I don't even know if you'd need it, but you could just throw little rolled roast or something in, throw your veg around it, and then when you're bumping around and that, there's plenty of ways to stop the fat and that getting all on the inside of here, but I found that's just handy, even for your pies and that on the road or whatever. Just throw it in, and then for clean up, you're just pulling that whole drawer out instead of trying to clean inside the oven. So especially for roasts and that, but there's heaps of good ways to stop the mess, like your oven bags. Watched a couple of guys over in WA where they just throw their little rolled roasts in oven bags and no mess then. So it's pretty awesome. Looking forward to installing that. So that was the second item, and then the old soda stream. So I'm sure all the older people will know all about these. I remember using them as kids and that. So the reason I got one of these, I think I've seen it on old Ronnie Dale's, mate, for ages, and I thought that's really cool. And what I like about it is for the kids, as long as I've got cold water in the fridge. So these are your actual soda stream bottles. So, you know what I mean? Like, you'd get that out of the fridge, or even if it was empty, you'd just get some cold water out, fill it up. It doesn't screw on, it just clips on. Give it 5 squirts and you've got soda water, basically. And I've just been putting a bit of sugarless cordial, or you can buy the proper SodaStream mixes, but I find them a bit syrupy. I prefer just some sugar-free cordial, basically. So obviously no power needed for that. That's just runs on a gas cylinder in there, which lasts, it's 500 cyc, 500 litres worth of thing, I think, basically. And I think they're about 15-20 bucks, so you probably only replace it once a year, if that, depending on how much you use it, I suppose. But the real reason I wanted to get it, it's good for the kids, which is always a little tick, and I don't mind a bit of pirate juice, so I drink sort of Sailor Jerry and stuff like that, and I like it with soda and lime. So instead of always having to buy your pre-mixed soda lime, soda water, no matter what, I can just grab me hose, fill up water bottles. I'll always have cold water in the fridge, and even if the water's not in that bottle, pour it in, put some gas into it, get it up, and I can either just carry limes or get that Bickford's, like you get your lemon lime bitters and you get your lime ones and stuff like that. Bit of rum, bit of soda water, a bit of lime, fresh lime, either way, and I'm on the go, and I'm not filling my fridge up for them big touring sort of trips full of beer and all that, which, I mean, if you're a big beer drinker, you'll make room, so it's not a massive issue. But that's what I thought was cool about the SodaStream, and you don't need wiring or anything. It's just a throw-in thing. Find a good little spot where you can't damage it, and you're away. So yeah, that's my 3 little things that I reckon make touring pretty cool, fun, and give you something else to do on the road. Back to the old travel buddy. So how I'm going to mount it, I think, I bought these steel brackets here. So I'm going to have them obviously like this, basically, and then I'm going to have some tie down strap that goes over it to hold it in, but I want to mount it up in the back corner here to this framework. So therefore it's just a top access, and I'm not taking up floor space and that with it. So, but anyway, I might get stuck into that, and I'll show the finished product of all these things in the vehicle. Cheers. So like I was saying, that's the framework there that I'm going to mount the brackets to for the travel buddy. So this here is my kitchen box. However, that's something that I'll probably build into a more custom one eventually. But I know that's about the height, so I know mounting me oven up in here is not going to be an issue, and it'll be a great little spot for it out the way. Yeah, so basically all I would do, pull up, pop the canopy, grab me pod, throw her in, turn the inverter on. I can set that so I can see how much. Well, there you go, she's firing up now. That's pulling 900 watts and 2.5 to 4 amps. So we'll do a live version. Take that out the way so the cup fits under there. So that's just heating up the water. I've got the Road Chef mounted now. I'll give you a look at that after. I wonder what that's been. 30 odd seconds probably so far. There we go. She's good to go. The full cup. So that is drawing. Yeah, 4.2 amps, 4 amps, spitting the coffee out. many watts? Yeah, 900, 917, 920. So it's around that 900, up 743, nearly finished. That's her. So that's the coffee part done and dusted. Now I'd have to get some milk out. I'll just unplug the coffee machine so I know it's definitely not plugged in. Plug the frother in, grab me mug. Bit of milk, throw the lid on. Throw in, turn her on. I reckon this part takes roughly a minute, froth the milk up. So yeah. So this was my coffee bag originally with my jet boil and all that. I probably might leave that in here, I think. Yeah, like that. I'll show you that in a tick. That'll house all my condiments all ready to go. I was going to set up a PowerPoint thing so I could plug these all in, but because I don't want to run them together, it's probably safer I'll just have to plug it in. It's not a big deal. There we go. Pour the milk in. Oh yeah, thick and creamy. How good is that? Well, there you go. A little stir. Oh, pretty pink. There you go, that's me road. That's probably my favourite little thing. And once we get this oven going, that might creep up there as well. Good value buying a new Toyota. You get yourself a free mug. Well worth it. Anyway, enough a ball. I'll show you this road chef. All mounted up there. No, that's where my soda stream lives. That's what I was talking about there, my little coffee condiment bloody thingy. And the old soda stream. I think that's where I'll live. I can make that a bit smaller, take half the mugs and jet boil and stuff out of it, but coffee bag, and then obviously it goes in there. Off you go. Soda stream. No. Anyway, I've actually got to go. I've got to make this lead a little bit longer for the Anderson plug for the road chef. So I want to run it across the roof and down. And my kick-ass battery box has already still got 2 spare Anderson inputs. So that's all I've got to do, and I'll give that a little test run. I might even, I don't know, I might leave a video here, but I'll give you a quick look at that finally all finished. So anyway, sweet. Alrighty, just finished that all up. Time to test her, turn her on. It's got a timer here, 2-hour timer, so that gives you a bit of a safety thing. She's working. So I've got the wiring conduit going up over there and down the back into a Anderson plug, like I said, into the kick-ass battery box. Yeah, it says in the description that the outside of it, due to the insulation, like it only gets warm, like just warm to the touch, so it'll be fine with the strap. But if I find it's getting a bit warm, I'll obviously change this out for a metal one, or you know what I mean, a more heat-proof style of strapping. But time will tell. That's a minor anyway. Fuck that bit off. Alright, sweet as, thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of that. Yeah, 3 little touring mods that I reckon make life easy on the road. Thanks very much. Cheers.